More than half of the time, the decision of mid career transition is delayed by one thing: a CV we are confident to submit and pass to recruiter. We have question that delays us. How should I write a CV perfect for the job change? How to capture my experience and strengths to get the proper attention? The biggest hack we use to build a CV is the most significant losing point, starting from the last CV and the format we use. Or we simply ask someone in our network to share a CV format without any due research. In this video, we are going to list 7 elements of a winning CV that is must for a career transition and especially for a mid-career transition. A CV has two primary purposes or two rounds to clear to ensure that we land a job or interview. The first is elimination, the second is selection. The primary tool recruiter or online system uses for elimination is ATS. ATS is application tracking system. These are a tool for recruiters to manage the large influx of applicants. They are used to filter and rank resumes. It helps companies in finding the right candidates for the position, shortlisting candidates, scheduling interviews, and tracking the progress of applicants. There is no one size fits all approach to getting your CV screened through an ATS. The best way is to make sure that your CV meets the criteria that a recruiter will be looking for. The factors that recruiters will screen candidates through ATS are primarily in two categories. The first is, like, for example, direct company name, the job title, the education level, the years of experience, the location, the skill sets, the professional association, visibility, languages, working permits, eligibility, certifications, publications. The second category includes the keywords and search optimization based on the job role, industry, and company requirements. It is given in the language when the job is released. First element of a winning CV is a CV optimized for ATS screening for a given job. Here are some tips on how you can ensure your CV is screened through an AI-powered CV screening technology. Ensure your CV is up to date and all the information listed is accurate. This includes contact information, work history, education, skills, and experience. Make sure all the keywords in your resume are relevant to the job you are applying for. This includes industry jargon, acronyms, company names, and job titles. Preferably use the word similar to or as in the job description. Make sure there are no spelling errors or grammatical mistakes in your resume, as these can cause it to be rejected by an AI screening software program. Let me be super clear that 80 to 90% of CVs never go beyond ATS screening. So if you don't have someone inside in the company who can hand your CV with a verbal or written documentation to HR or hiring manager, a CV optimized for ATS screening is your best bet to clear the elimination round. Now, once you have made through elimination round and you move to selection round, that is, earlier ATS and recruiters were looking reasons to reject your CV, and now they are looking reasons to select your CV. The rest of the elements will help you. Second element of a winning CV is the length of CV. So writing a CV and selecting a CV depends a lot on personal style and choice. But when we look for the type of CV that scores better success, there are various research articles that provide evidence that two-page CV has better acceptance rate with recruiters. A research by ResumeGo illustrates that the two-page CV has high success ratio in all kind of job categories, that is entry level, mid-career, and managerial. A Reed survey of 300 UK employers reveals that 91% of hiring managers believes a Word document of between 2 and 3 pages is the ideal length for a CV. However, a much larger study of nearly 2,300 HR professionals and recruiters by Harris International showed that 22% of employers believed a resume of over 2 pages should be ground to instantly dismiss a candidate from consideration. It doesn't mean that you should make your CV verbose or bulky just to fill 2 pages, but be tactical and don't compromise the quality of CV. It is a key stat to keep in mind. A YouGov poll on behalf of GSEM London didn't delve into the specifics, but 40% of respondents said a CV that was too long was among the worst mistakes a candidate can make, while just 26% disapproved of CVs that were too short. Third element of a winning CV is to include a LinkedIn profile. Today, LinkedIn is the portal of choice by hiring managers and recruiters, so you can rest assured that people will look at your profile. And here are a few simple things that you can do. Use a photo that looks like you. Use the summary section, profile headline, and LinkedIn banner to illustrate your skills and title. Complete experience, education, professional membership, papers. Use featured section to illustrate your public domain work, your paper, and publication. Use skill section, and it is good if you have credible endorsement. Ask your friends and colleagues to give you written recommendation. A good LinkedIn profile really makes one very good first impression, and especially in the earlier part as well in the ATS screen. So don't discount it, please. Fourth element of a winning CV is a professional summary. According to the latest research, recruiters spend average of 6 seconds before they make the initial fit or no fit decisions on candidates. As an applicant, your job is to ensure that you make it easier for recruiters to find information in those 6 seconds. Ask a simple question: if the hiring manager knows nothing about me, what are the most important details I should pass to improve my candidacy? I would recommend an HBR article. Yes, Your Resume Needs a Summary by Jane Heifetz. It discusses a simple checklist to write a good summary and few key examples. Tailor your summary to each job application. Highlight your areas of expertise most relevant to that position. Then focus on specific results you have achieved in those areas of expertise and how other organizations have improved because of you. Note the types of organizations and industries you have worked in. Include years of experience. Avoid generic terms such as result driven, proven track record, excellent communication skills, team player, etc. Pharmaceutical marketing executive with 20 years of experience creating commercial infrastructures, growing brand, and optimizing product value throughout launch, relaunch, and sunset life cycles across all customer segments, payers, physicians, and patients. Lead global marketing and commercial operations team with P&L up to $2 billion US. Fifth element of a winning CV is the overall structure of the CV. Though it will have a personal choice and influence, however, based on most common archetypes of CVs based on document research, recruiters, and career coaches, a powerful CV structure looks like following. It starts with a header that includes your name, your current title, contact, LinkedIn profile, and your location. I would recommend to either use a resume builder or available format as in Microsoft Online. Using an Excel table format in Word document is also very helpful. The choice of format is highly dependent upon the industry you are in and the kind of role you are applying when it comes to use the color or somewhat design-based format. One thing that I learned in strategy consulting is that simplicity is better. So my recommendation is stick with clean and simple format. Use bold and large name. Underneath it, your headline or designation, and underneath that email, mobile, LinkedIn profile. Prefer professional type email, and it's better if you have your own domain or college email. Avoid employer email for sure. Use a line below this to separate this from the rest of the CV. The next part is professional summary, 3 to 4 lines, be brief and use the relevant language that relates to your job you are applying for. The next should be the chronological work experience starting from most recent. One line listing company, your designation, start and end date in month, year, format, and location. Under each job role section, use 3 to 5 bullet points to highlight your key achievements and summary. We will discuss more about it on how to write it. The preferred are 3 bullets, but if you are in a mid-career, it could vary sometime if the duration between 2 roles and jobs are very different. For example, 6 months versus 6 years. As much as possible, stay coherent, and you may have many things to share, but try to focus on 3 to 4 things that are most relevant for the jobs you are applying for. My preferred style is that I use one italics line below the role and company line, discussing in brief my role's responsibility of that job relevant to the current role, and use bullets for the achievement, results, and milestone. It's a personal choice, and since I have landed several interviews in different kind of industries during my career, I'm comfortable with it. Next section in CV should be about education. It should include institution name, degree, and course, start and date, locations. Optional things could include thesis and any specific project or paper that could be relevant for the job. And if grades are good or you have done it with honors, mention it. The next part of the CV should include honors and awards in a preferably chronological order and in a single line format. After this, you can have other experience and skill. If you have any other experience or skills that you think is relevant but not necessarily fall in the work experience category, mention. Also for skills, focus on hard skills only. Please skip soft skills. Your job responsibilities and bullet points in work experience section should be good enough to imply what your soft skills are. If you are applying for a job that is heavily dependent upon your hard skills and you believe that it is not coming out of experience that well, you do have option for listing skills immediately after professional summary also. But do it on a case to case basis instead of a journal practice. Next section should include the tactical information that hiring manager would like to know. For example, a status of work permit, family details, are you married with kids, if your wife is working, especially when new job requires relocation. The last section, the CV, should include a small note on your personal interests, but be tactical here and include the ones you really like and preferably from your present time. It is better if it has some relevancy or you could use it for an icebreaker if needed. Sixth element of a winning CV is the use of power verbs. While writing the summary and key bullet points for relevant experience under job section, please don't use mundane verbs and don't repeat the same verb again and again. I use thumb rule of not using the same verb more than 2 times. Also lead the bullet with powerful action verb. Example, formulated the field development planning team, orchestrated the policy framework for the oil and gas regulator, implemented digital transformation for large NOC. Other example of power verbs for different scenarios, for example, are say you led a project, coordinated, executed, headed, operated, orchestrated, organized. Say you contributed significantly to something, created, designed, devised, developed, founded, engineered, established, formalized, launched, implemented, pioneered. Hiring manager love candidates who have helped team operate more efficiently or cost effectively. To show just how much you saved, try words like conserved, consolidated, decreased, deducted, diagnosed, lessened, reconciled, reduced, yielded. If you're looking verbs to show that you increase efficiency, sales, revenue, or customer satisfaction, use accelerated, achieved, advanced, boosted, enhanced, expanded, expedited. I would advise that you do a little Google search on power verbs and you will find so many of these. Seventh element of a winning CV is that data and numbers are must. It is one thing to use power verb, but the bullet point is not compelling enough. It is not supported by data, and ideally every bullet should have data. Also think in back of your head that you have a credible professional reference who can vouch or validate the information you are writing in your CV. Please do not lie on your CV. When we combine the elements 6 and 7, a bullet point and experience would look like this. Example, formulated field development strategy for an offshore field to secure $800 million FID, deliver 12,000 incremental barrel per day production, and commercialize 18 MMSTB of oil reserves. Another example is devise data strategy for a $50 billion market cap Fortune 500 company to achieve incremental revenue of $500 million by 2030 and launch 2 new business lines. Another example is achieved 40% year-on increase in software sales and services. So when you put all these elements together, you could have a really robust CV at your hand. You need to remember one thing: if you are thinking to dump everything you have done in your CV, especially in mid-career, your CV is most likely to be rejected in initial elimination process. So do research about the company and industry, build your angle, and then write your CV. I generally prefer to keep a journal of activities I do in my professional career and write few bullets of various things I do every 2 to 4 weeks, sometimes few months, and it's like 15 pages long now. I write what I did, few key numbers, key achievements, couple of team members' name who could vouch for it. It is easier for me to compile a 2-page CV then and find relevant information and example and good variety as needed for the job I'm applying for. Do not rely completely on your brain, as what you think important may be secondary for hiring manager. Always discuss with someone in industry, and if you know in somebody in company, see if you can forward CV directly to somebody directly within the company. I reviewed 10 to 30 resumes in a month in my various roles, including working with some of the top EU business schools by a UK based consulting company. And I can confirm that a good CV is worth a lot. Its outcome in your life as net happiness, good working experience, and monetary benefit is probably more than any other document that you will ever write after your college degree. So do it diligently and with focus. If you are interested in learning the winning strategy for mid-career transition, you may click the video here or in description. This is all for today's episode, and we will come back with a topic if McKinsey BCG Bain strategy consulting move is right for you in mid-career. Remember, mid-career transition is a journey, so start again and start right. Thank you. See you next time.